Hello, families. I'm Jia Huizhi, your children's educator in our Early Childhood Center. Today, I'm happy to have you here together to learn more about health, wellness, and safety standards and practice in early childhood, which we all care about. For these things are closely related to our children's daily lives and studies, and all their activities should be based on safety and health. Safety, wellness, and health should be the first and most important thing in the early childhood center, and it is a shared responsibility for both educators and parents to create a safe environment where children can play and learn with our best effort to support their physical and mental development. In this presentation, I will introduce why we should pay attention to children's health, wellness, and safety. The latest healthy and safety standards and practice relate to early childhood education and care settings, priorities that made regulatory requirements and best practice guidelines to ensure children's health and safety requirements, and how they work in daily routines. This practice will cover supervision, hygiene, safe environments, illness, and infection control, and what parents can do to help with this. We will also conduct scenario risk assessments in early childhood center and share my own related experience as an educator in my placement. I believe it is our shared goal to ensure our children can grow and develop safely and happily every day. So join me. Let us know about this area now. So, what is this health and safety are fundamental? Why is health and safety are fundamental to children's well-being, learning, and environment? What come to your mind when we're thinking about talking about children's well-being, learning, and development? What scenarios will appear when you think it may not be safe in children's daily routines? The first thing it will be their diet and sleep. Daily diet is crucial, and it determines whether they receive sufficient nutrition, can adapt to different foods to strengthen their immunity, and are less likely to experience life-threatening allergies. Daily sleep affects their mental state and their physical development. The second is hygiene. Developing food hygiene habits is the first step to disease prevention. Daily hygiene practices such as washing hands before and after meals and after using the toilet can reduce the risk of bacteria spreading to others and entering a children's mouth. Wearing clean clothes, maintaining personal hygiene, and being in a clean, well ventilated, and frequently disinfected environment can be also reduce the spread of a disease. The third one is illness management. In illness management, educators will check children's daily health to find out whether they have the symptoms like the running nose, coughing, fever, vomiting, rashes, and so on. If symptoms are not taken seriously in the early stage of some illness, these diseases may be rapidly worsen. For example, rashes caused by allergies can be life-threatening in severe cases, so regular checkups are necessary for symptoms of the infectious diseases such as fever and vomiting. Parents should be advised to take their children home for observation until the symptoms disappear before returning back to the center. The first one is supervision. It's not only referring to physical supervision but also mental supervision. Educators need active supervision to watch, listen, observe, anticipate the risk, and intervene when needed. To make sure all children are under supervision, when children feel safe and secure, they are more confident to explore, play, and build a relationship with others. The fifth one is a safe environment. To prevent children getting hurt, it's important to create a safe environment for them to play and learn. It includes using soft mice, no sharp material in play area, no damaging equipment like broken practice window of the kitchen area. The final one is the reason why we need to care about children, because they are too young and too vulnerable to protect themselves. They lack sufficient risk awareness and find it hard to protect themselves from some situations. The second one is some key health some key health and safety standards, regulations, and expectations relevant to early childhood service. The first one is the NQF, the National Quality Framework. It's a national system for regulating, assessing, and improving the quality of early childhood education and care service. It supports all the early childhood service in Australia, making sure all the children and the services are guided by the same high quality standards in their daily life. The second one is NQS, the benchmark framework that sets a high national standard for early childhood education care and out-of-school hour services surveys across, say, Australia, especially the QA2, the Children's Health and Safety, and the QA3, the physical environment. These two quality areas focus on children's health and safety. The third one is the general regulation and expectations. General regulations are regulations relating to adequate supervision, safely practice and medication procedures, emergency management, and risk assessments. And here are some latest expectations to educators and service to create child-safe environments where children feel secure, respected, and protected, being responsive and protecting them from harm. The third one is key health and safe practice. The first one is supervision. Supervision practice makes children safe engagement in the learning environment and make sure their needs are met in timely and responsive ways. Is from the Early Childhood Australia 2026. And NQS also quality area to also focus on the active supervision. Effective supervision is integral to creating environments that are safe and responsive to the needs of all children and help them from hazards or harm that allow educators to engage in meaningful interactions with children. It's from EC505 2018 and it's also regulated by the legislative requirement National Law Section 165, Section 167, and so on. Nowadays in ECA, is more focused on dynamic supervision, which is based on active supervision but recognizing the importance of professional judgment and adaptability. It's from Early Childhood Australia 2026. And it includes 6 steps in active supervision. The first one, set up the environment. Next is the position educators, scan and count, listen carefully, anticipate the behavior, engage and redirect from RT Quadrant 4, and covers the routines like indoor and outdoor play, transition, excursions, sleep and rest, and so on. It's from Victoria Government 2024. Active and dynamic supervision is important to support children's safe exploration and support them have a healthy and good emotional state, like not bullied or ignored by others. For families, it's encouraged to communicate and any concern regarding their children's safety with educators to make a contribution to their children's safety and awareness. The second one is hygiene and infection control. The SAP, infection prevention and control, is a practical evidence-based approach preventing people from being harmed avoidable by avoidable infection is from World Health Organization, helping minimize the spread of infectious illness within in the service. So for families, we suggest parents taking sick children back home and letting them have a good rest before returning to center. Teaching and helping children have good hygiene habits like a proper hand washing techniques. The third one is safe environment. A safe environment allows children to explore and learn with confidence while reducing the likelihood of injury. It includes physical safe, emotional safe, and cultural safe. In physical safety, it includes eliminating hazards like removing sharp edge, small materials, which may lead into choking risks, and chemical and poisonous substances. Considering visibility when setting the room and outdoor area, like in emotional safety, it's important to build a trusting connection with children, letting them feel safe to rely on you and help them to recognize their emotions and learning to regulate them. Is from Victoria Government 2023. Teaching body boundaries and their rights to reject others when they are not feeling comfortable in some certain social situation. And in cultural safety, is educators' responsibility to build an environment reflecting cultural diversity to make children feel included and culturally responded. It's also from Victorian Government 2023. So for families, they can contribute to it like reporting concerns they noticed and understanding service policies and support these policies. I choose supervision, hygiene, and infection control and a safe environment because they represent the most fundamental health and safety responsibilities in a childhood education and care. These measures work together to protect children's physical health, emotional well-being, and learning opportunities. And now, as a risk assessment in fictional early childhood service, we set a fictional health service, and we do these steps. The first one is we observe and identify hazards and potential harm, and the second one is assess the risks. The third one is we implement control environments to remove these risks, and we do the monitor and review on a regular basis. And for this supervision, hygiene, control, and safe environment, this series we talked before. So in my placement, I also noticed they taught by the experienced educators that we should always stand motivate myself to ensure all children remain visible and supported. And the second one, we need to keep good hygiene in everyday routine. So the third one is we in my placement before outdoor activities, educators will conduct a safety inspection of the environment and identify potential hazards to make sure every children is under safe. So conclusion, health and safety are fundamental to children's well-being, learning, and development. This is a consensus among parents and teachers. So maintaining children's safety is a shared responsibility for the families and the centers. And we need to make efforts to make the children feel safe, healthy, and confident through the learning to enough to learn, explore, and thrive. And here are my reference. Thank you.